everyone, what's up for the second time around, because I just filmed this video and then I turned around and I saw my camera was not recording. I could just pull my hair out right now because I think I spent like 20 minutes talking at the camera, but A, I didn't really like what I filmed in the first place, so B, here's my second try, and now I have like the facts of my story straight, because as I was filming the first time around, I was like recalling things in my head, and the story was not like beginning, middle, end. It was more like beginning, middle, end. Oh wait, I forgot something, middle, end again. And I'm pulling up my laptop because I tried to look up like the emails on my phone, but I deleted them, but they're on AOL, so let me pull that up. Okay, so today's video, first story time ever, is going to be about the time my boss tried to scam me. Now, I know scam is like, at least for this, I'm not even sure if scam is the right word choice, because, let's just say she just thought she wasn't going to pay me. It's sort of scamming, but I don't even know. You guys tell me down below once I finish the story. Do you think I was being scammed, or do you just think she was trying to get out of paying me, or I don't know, what do you call it? Tell me down below. Why is my email not coming up? So this story starts out like a couple years ago. I don't want to say how many years ago because I really don't want to give any too important details, just because I don't want anyone looking this up and this getting back to such and such. We are going to name this lady Dominique. I don't want this getting back to Dominique. Right, Dominique, and we'll call this website London because I'm looking at the London postcard I have. And so Dominique commented on my Instagram like a photo one time, and she was like, hey, yeah, I have an idea for you, you know, send me an email. And she has a lot of followers, Dominique. I don't know, I think she's kind of famous. I'm not going to say what she does because, again, don't want anyone looking this up. And Dominique left her contact info in the comments, and I was like, ooh, what do I do? Do I see what she wants? I mean, definitely kind of curious, and so I ended up emailing Dominique, and she told me she had a business proposition for me, and she wanted me to be a contributor to London. And so, well, first of all, her email was like in text, you know? It wasn't like, good morning, such and such, you know, as you would formally email someone about business. It was just like misspelled word here. She's spelling T-O, so she used the number 2. And I thought, wow, and the grammar was really bad. I was just kind of shocked. I was like, this sounds like a scam. But, you know, I just thought, let's see what this scam is about then. And I emailed her I was interested, and she sent me information. And, you know, after I looked at it, I had a friend who's a lawyer look at it. Like, no, I don't have like a lawyer on retainer, but I just have a friend who's a lawyer who said she would look at the contract, yeah, it was a contract for me, and just, you know, make sure I wasn't signing away stupid things, you know? And on paper, it sounded like a decent thing. I contributed to London, and I would get paid monthly. And it said monthly 30 days after I contributed, or basically 30 days after my contribution was published. And so, that's what I did. I contributed, submit, bing, and I was supposed to get paid, except I didn't. And I had to email Dominique's assistant, which we are going to call, what's on my wall? Dream. I'm looking at my poster board behind the camera. Anyway, so I emailed Dream, and I was like, hi Dream, I submitted this blank blank like the contract said, and I should have been paid on blank date, but I have not received my payment. And she was just like, oh, well, it was sent in the mail like a couple of weeks ago. You should be receiving it soon. And I thought to myself, that's kind of weird. Like, I know we're a couple of states away, but if you put something in the mail like a couple of weeks ago, it shouldn't take weeks to get like it's not even halfway across the country. It was just like a couple states away. I thought, that sounds iffy, but you know, we'll see what she says. And my check showed up a couple of days later. And so the next month I send, contribute, and 30 days later, no payment. So I had to go again, like, hi, such and such. Haven't received my payment yet. And, oh, that's funny. Oh, you'll be receiving it shortly. And I just thought, oh, well, at least I'm getting paid. And so, like she said, my payment came shortly. And then, like, the very next month, I got an email from London. Wait, no, that's not who we named her. We named her Dominique. I got an email from Dominique, or was it Dream? I can't remember. Basically, someone from the whole London thing emailed me and was like, hey, you're gonna have to take a pay cut, basically. And so I said, you know, this was, you know, I didn't expect it to last. And so I said, well, what do? Do I say, no, I don't want to take a pay cut and not make a little bit of extra money? Or do I just, you know, take the pay cut and keep making this little money while I can? So that was like my attitude in this. I didn't expect it to last. And so when it did end, I wasn't surprised. And so I took my pay cut and I kept submitting, you know, like I was on time, basically, you know, but I never got my money on time. It was always late. And it got to the point where I didn't even like email them it was late, because I just knew it was gonna come late. Until finally we got a new Dream, so a new assistant to Dominique, and so we're still gonna call this lady Dream. And so I said, hi Dream, I've had some trouble with my, you know, payments always coming late in the past. I was hoping, you know, with you being here we could resolve that. And she said, sure, let's put you on a PayPal plan. And so they would pay my PayPal, but unfortunately my PayPals would even come late. And then with PayPal, I had never used PayPal before, and so I don't know, you have to like build up PayPal credibility, and so my payments were released to me after 30 days, I guess. And so that was annoying because I was already getting it late, and then on top of getting it late, I had to wait another 30 days. So it got to the point where I was submitting things for the next contribution to London, and I hadn't even been paid for the month previous to that. And so I was just really getting irritated with that. And it was getting to the point of just like, is it even worth it anymore? And so here's where it gets messy, and here's where I will pull up my emails. I almost just typed London into my search bar. This is where it gets messy. I email, hello, I just want to make sure that this is the best form of communication, because no one had been responding to my messages saying, hey, you owe me money. So I go on to say, I sent previous messages but did not receive a response. I used this address to submit my contribution, and I see that it was received as it was published, and I put the date. So I'm so bad at story time. So here's what I sent. This is April, mind you. Like, I have not received my payment for February, and it was due 30 days after, you know? And so we're in April, and I have not received my tax forms. I've been asking them about it and not getting any replies. And as you know, like, you know, taxes are important. You can't just, I mean, you need to know. And obviously I kept up with how much I made. So I still had it, but you know, you want records of these things. Like, there are federal laws telling people that you need to get out your tax information like before the end of February. So technically, they were definitely wrong. And so here's what I said. I said, good afternoon. I remember this too. I was on my way to school, and I was like sitting in the car before class, and I was just like, I've had it. And I wasn't nice. I wasn't like, normally I'm cordial, like, hi, how are you? Hope everything is well. Here's what I said. Good afternoon. I'm still waiting on my tax form. Taxes are due in 10 days, and the federal deadline for sending those out was in February. I'm prepared to file my taxes based on my record, but I do need that form for future references and future records, whatever. I'm still, about to repeat the line I just read. Haha. Again, had not received payment for the February contribution. Payment was due March 4th, according to our, in all caps, contractual agreement. This delay is completely unacceptable. Neither of you, I was talking to Dominique and Dream, her assistant, have acknowledged that this payment is past due or acknowledged my PayPal invoice reminders, as I was prepared to take this little situation to Judge Mathis. You know, we were going to settle this. I wasn't leaving without my money, basically. And so I started sending PayPal invoices because you can title it, and I would title it whatever submission it was to London, and then you can give it a due date. And so that way, when I saw, like, I was constantly creeping that website to see when the submission was uploaded, because they were late for that too. It wasn't the beginning of the month like it was supposed to be. It would be like a couple of days later, and I was constantly on that website looking for updates. And then the moment I saw my contribution had gone up, I would send that little invoice with a 30 days notice, and then PayPal will even remind you that your invoice is days late. I think the majority of my payments were almost a month late. So if we ended up on Judge Mathis, you know, Judge Mathis is always like, okay, folks. That's a terrible Judge Mathis impersonation. But he's just like, okay, who has proof? And I was going to have my proof. I was going to have my emails. Like, I started a folder on my computer. I would, like, save things as PDFs. And so that way I had it in order, what I said, what they said. Dang it, why didn't I think about that? So if we went to court, this was gonna be settled, and I was gonna have my facts straight, and it was gonna be like judgment for the plaintiff. So I had, you know, a record of all of this, and I go on to say, this delay is completely unacceptable. Neither of you have acknowledged that this payment is past due or acknowledged my PayPal invoices. When can I expect full payment? I hope that we can resolve this amicably. However, my next step will be to contact the IRS and the State Department of Consumer Affairs of where their whole, like, business was located, because I went online and I found their info, because, you know, when you set up a business, you have to file paperwork, and that paperwork becomes basically public information. So I found their address and their contact information and all of that, and I was going to, you know, report them for not paying me, because that's not good business. And here she goes. She responded the next day. As far as your tax form goes, I'm not going to say which form, because, you know, that's just info y'all don't need. As far as your tax info goes, that's out of my hands. I can only give you something when I receive it. The accountant is working on it, and you should receive it via email as of this week. In April, really, your accountant is just now doing your taxes? Taxes are due, like I said, in 10 days. And I said, oh man, you can't see. I deleted, like, all of my messages a couple of months ago, so some of these messages are gone. And she also said something else to me. It was about payment, and she was like, I sent the payment, but you haven't confirmed it on PayPal. And so what happened before is she never paid my invoices. She just would send me some money for what the invoice was amounted for. And so this time she paid the actual invoice. And I didn't know that on PayPal, if you're paying an invoice, you have to link your bank account. Like, I just linked my debit card. And so I had to, like, find my bank account info, and then it takes 2 to 3 days to confirm your bank info. And so she basically sent me a little snotty message like, we paid you. I don't know why you haven't accepted the money yet. And I was just like, my PayPal is telling me it will be confirmed in 2 to 3 business days. Thank you. And that's the last time I contacted them or they contacted me, because I was so over it. So over it. You know, if you're gonna run a business and, like, have a contract with people, you have to honor that contract, even if that means, you know, you get paid within this amount of time. You can't be a month late. That's unacceptable. And so I never submitted anything else to London again. And I think I saw 1 or 2 updates to London in, like, the past year. I haven't looked. I looked like a couple months ago. And that's it. I unfollowed London on Twitter, not Twitter, but on Instagram. And I unfollowed London on, well, not London, but I also unfollowed London on Instagram too. Another thing I forgot. So Dream tried to tell me Dominique couldn't pay me because Dominique was sick. Well, first it was Dominique was experiencing some basically family drama, and we'll try and get your payment as soon as possible. This was like before that big last email of me threatening to call the IRS on them. And then I got the excuse, Dominique is sick. And I go to my Instagram and I'm like, Dominique just posted this picture of herself in a swimsuit with her boobs like all the way out into the camera. Dominique is not sick. You're lying to me. Get me my money. But I didn't actually say that. I was just like really pissed off. And that's why I sent that last email like, hey, stop playing games with me. And they did. So I didn't know what to call this. My boss tried to scam me, or I don't know, do you guys really think that's a scam, or do you think she just thought she wasn't going to pay me, or I don't know what their intentions were, but that was the end of me working for London, and that's okay, you know, God has provided. So that's my first story time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, send me a little like so I know, and maybe I have some more story times. My life isn't as interesting as Hey Paris or Nikki Glamour, but I have a couple of stories, and if you would like to hear it, you know, like I said, give me a thumbs up. If you have a moment where your boss or someone you know tried to scam you, comment down below and we'll swap stories, or maybe I can help you out. Maybe I can give you advice if you're trying to, you know, collect payment like I was, because the same information that was available to me is probably available to you as well. Who knows? But thanks, as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and have a fabulous day.